Oh, sure. First of all, thanks for having me, and thanks for giving me the exposure. I write under the name Angela C. Charles. So when you do Google or anything, please put that initial C in my name. I'm from Marigat, or specifically from Lyons Estate, which is Lyons is just north of the airport. I attended school in Marigat and church in Wesley before the Catholic Church was built in Marigat. After going to school in Marigat, I attended Convent High School. I was always shy. You could say, and still am pretty shy. And the natural tendency is to stay in the background. But I made a great effort to put myself out there. And I'm always surprised at the results, like becoming head girl at Convent High School. And I was really amazed because there were lots of popular and outgoing um, classmates, and they chose me. So I was really honored. After graduation, I taught at Convent High School for 1 year. And what I found is that life, I didn't have any bullying or discrimination in high school, which mightn't happen right now. It's a different world. And I thought that I could be brave and go out, even though I was an introvert. I could go out there and do things because I didn't have a problem, and the sky was the limit. So that's what I found growing up. It gave me a good foundation to go out and be who I wanted to be.
Yes, excellent. And just kind of tell us about your journey from going from Dominica to Canada, what the transition was, any challenges that you faced along the way.
Um, well, because I was shy, I found university. I went to university, directly to university, and I was really quiet because I had that Dominican accent, and so I didn't speak a lot in class. But after I graduated, I went on to I became a consultant, and I worked in banking and industry and insurance. And it's only after I left work, I left the working industry, that I started writing.
Hmm. Yes, excellent. So your main passion right now is being a writer. So kind of let's talk about your journey to becoming a writer. When did you know that you wanted to write? When did you know that being an introvert, especially, that you wanted to present a public persona and share a message with our audiences?
Well, I didn't really think about it because I was a teacher. It didn't Writing didn't occur to me until I left work. I left work. In 2016, I simply sat down and wrote a few poems. And in 2017, I thought, why don't I try writing fiction? So I started writing fiction, and my writing journey is like really short, like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But in that's 5 year span, I wrote and published a book of poetry and two novels. So that's not bad, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's my journey.
absolutely. So here's a little bit more about Angela. So let me just go ahead and read a little bit of her bio so we can get a better sense
Okay.
of who she is. So let me just pull that up real quick. Angela Charles is from Dominica. She served as head girl at the convent high school and taught at that high school for 1 year. She immigrated to Canada in 1972 and is a graduate of Windsor University in Ontario, a former information technology consultant and entrepreneur who lives in Kitchener, Ontario. Angela is the author of 3 captivating books: When God is Silent, Cece's Journey, and 1 book of poems, Share the Thoughts. When Angela isn't at her keyboard writing from her heart, she is traveling or out volunteering and sharing her heart in the community. She serves on the board of the Caribbean Association in Waterloo Region and recently as a board member of the CHS Alumni Association. She is also a Eucharistic minister at two nursing homes in Kitchener and is a committed member of the Waterloo African Caribbean Book Club. So I see that you stay pretty busy, Angela.
Yes, a lot. Yeah, very
Yes.
busy.
Yeah, so I can tell that you're very interested in giving back to your
Yes,
community.
yes, I think it's important. Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. But just kind of tell us about the writing process because, I think what something we've learned during COVID-19 is
Okay.
that a lot of people are interested in pursuing their passion.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people, that passion is writing.
Mm-hmm.
But they have this wonderful life story. They have this wonderful idea, but they just do not know where to go with it. So, can you just kind of walk us through your inspiration, how you start the writing process? So, for example, let's begin with When God is Silent. So just kind of walk us through, how the idea came to you, how you put pen to paper. So for those of us who are out there, because we're part of a community.
Yeah.
So for those of us who are out there struggling with how to become a writer, just tell us a little bit about your process of writing.
Okay. So we'll start with When God is Silent.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went on my first pilgrimage in 2017. And what do you do? What do you do when you come back from a pilgrimage? You have this great experience. And I wanted to grow spiritually and learn more about my faith. And I thought, what a good idea. Why don't I write something about faith? That way I can learn and grow. So that's the idea for When God is Silent. However, my inspiration for Cece's journey was totally different. And I think more people could probably relate to this one. We were in our first lockdown in 2020 due to the pandemic, and I had a real difficult time coping. I felt like my wings were clipped and I just couldn't do what I wanted. So, writing was one way that I coped with the loneliness and the isolation. And I think most people, you can get your inspiration from um, grief, from solitude, from pain, from anything, from life. That's where you get your inspiration. And you wanted to know the process.
Yes.
So first of all, there's a theme. You get a theme. So let's say you get faith. Um, and then once you get a theme, you decide, okay, I have to create characters around that and situations. But it's not an easy process. You have to make a couple iterations to figure out which one is going to work. But I jumped and I wrote a novel. But for most people, if you want to write a novel, you should start and write a short story.
Mm.
That's what I learned hard way.
Mhm.
Start by writing a short story. So
Yes.
you get your theme and you get your characters and your situations and you create a story around that.
Yes, yes. And the good thing about it is we have several people in our community who are also writers. And we have Rosalind Sevre on the Facebook Live, who's
Yes,
also a writer.
yes,
So
she
I'm
writes very
happy that
good
she's
poetry.
joining us. Maybe she can share some tips as well, especially as it relates to, for example, writer's block. So I think there are two different approaches because I write as well. There are two different approaches. You
Yes.
either have this energy where it all comes out and it just flows out and you just keep writing. But there's also a different process where, you get an idea, you write it. And if you're like me, you wake up at 2 in the morning
Yes.
because something
I
came
hear
to
you.
mind
Yes,
and you need
yes.
to write it down.
Yep.
But then what happens when you come across writer's block? So Rosalind, you can jump in if you want as well. And Beverly, lovely to see you as always. Thank you for being here. So
Yeah.
what do you do with writer's block?
Well, I haven't had writer's block.
Oh, good for you.
What happens? I think my writer's block come at the very start. What do I write about? And sometimes nothing is working. And then you go over and over and over. And finally, once I get something, it flows. And poetry is sort of different from fiction and nonfiction. because I write poetry and I write poetry in one go.
Right.
But for fiction, if you have writer's block, you just read, just stop, do some reading, do something else, go for a walk in nature and or listen to music.
Absolutely.
Yes, and it will come.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a break from it.
Yes, take a break, say
Take
a
a break.
prayer.
Yes, do something else
Yeah,
and then come back to it. So speaking
yes.
of your poetry, can you share one of your poems with us by any chance?
Do you want me to read from my poetry book or from When God is Silent?
From your poetry book will be
Oh
good
my
because the
God.
next thing we're going to look at is When God is Silent, because I think that's such a powerful title for a book.
Okay, okay. So, um, oops, this is my book. Share thoughts. Um, I wasn't sure, so I wrote this poem called "My Sisters." Colorful, standing proud, standing tall, unapologetic. You have a special place for me in your heart. You defend me. I am you, my sister. Here, you invented and perfected style. Long, short, straight, curly, kinky, natural, processed, braids, locks, not forgetting weaves and wigs, topping it off with a head wrap. My sisters, different sizes, different shapes, mostly curvy, an array of facial features, our proud heritage on display. The color of your skin, a source of envy, a source of self shame, a source of pride. Light cream to deep mahogany, and every hue in between. Colors on an artist's palette. Beautiful, unique, but still cause for hatred. My sisters. We look to history for our heroes and mentors. Mothers, not giving in, not giving up, believing in a dream. Activists, writers, poets, entrepreneurs, professionals, dreams can come true. Former First Lady Michelle Obama, anything is possible. Born from poverty, born from hardship and poverty, born from love and determination. We survive, we flourish, we succeed. You lift me up. You are my reflection, my sisters.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautifully done. And remind us again which book that we can find that poem.
Um, Shared thoughts.
Yes, and that is available on Amazon.ca. So for those of us who are in the US, we're used to Amazon.com, but you can find Angela's book and make sure you write Angela C. Charles on Amazon.ca. So right before we jump
Sorry,
into,
hurry up. For this one, it's Angela Charles.
no C.
That's a little different, yes.
Okay, okay, excellent. So before we jump into your book, because of course we can't wait to hear about your two books, I still want us to explore a little bit more about the writing process because another place many of us get stuck is the resources we need to complete the process. Like, how do you find an editor? How do you find a publisher? So, do you have any quick suggestions on that for us?
It's really difficult.
Hmm.
I wrote when I started. I wanted to go traditional, and I wrote letters to agents, and maybe one or two responded.
Wow.
Nothing. Um, okay, you have to decide first of all what genre you're writing it, because that's really important. And then, because when you're looking for a publisher, they all are listed by genres. So you have to get a publisher based on your genre. And traditional publishers, most of them, they need you go to them via agents. But sometimes in a year, couple of publishers are open for submission directly, direct submission. So you can do that, but you have to always keep on checking. Um, and even the indie publishers, everything is by genre. And it's best if you know of someone who's published and you could talk to that person and say, please introduce me to your publisher. That's
Yes,
what happened to
yes,
me. That's
yes.
what happened to me.
Yeah, and that
Mhm.
is what I'm hoping we also do here, because when we have writers like you who've been through the process, and
Mhm.
writers like Rosalind who've been through the process, I'm hoping at some point, we can have a symposium on
Mhm.
writing and share our ideas. Because in addition to the regular approaches to publishing, there's now also self-publishing with Amazon.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's a wealth of information out there that we can
Mhm.
all share with this community, and we can help each other along the way. So the next writer doesn't have to start from scratch
Yes,
when
that's
it comes to their writing.
because
So
yeah, it's a painful
I
experience.
can imagine. I can imagine, because when I went to publish my book, I didn't even look at publishers. I just went straight to Amazon,
Okay, right.
self-published,
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
I'd heard about what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, but congratulations on being published.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. So
And
let's talk about your books, because I want to bring them up, and I'm going to bring up your website. So if anyone is interested in learning more about Angela and her books, you can check out her website. And her website is angelacharlesauthor.com. So you can see it at the top of the screen. So we encourage you to take a look at her website, Angela charlesauthor.com. And here is about her story and Cece's journey. But I actually wanted to start with When God is Silent, because I think that is such a powerful title for a book. And it's kind of scary too. We don't want God to be silent. So why did you select that particular title?
you know, a friend gave me the name for the book. Getting a title is very, very important. And
Yes.
I couldn't get a name. And I told a friend the story, and she said, "Let me think about it." And she
Mhm.
said, "This is what you this is the title. When God is silent." I said, "Yes, yes."
Absolutely.
So
And I want you to read an excerpt from that book, but let me just read the description.
okay,
December 11th, 2019, Naomi Sullivan has all the visible trappings of success, but her life is a mess. A wife and mother, she tries to navigate her way through the storms that threaten to overwhelm and plunge her into darkness. Her husband, Peter, a successful lawyer, is dealing with the consequences of a temporary lapse in judgment. Their only hope for happiness is to find a way to heal the rift and mend the marriage. As Naomi faces one tragic event after another, instead of leaning more on God, she pulls further and further away to the point of despair. Will Naomi learn to forgive? Will she renew her faith and find hope for tomorrow? When God is Silent is a passionate story of redemption, forgiveness, hope, and chances. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I want you to tell us a little bit more, maybe read an excerpt from the book so we
okay.
can get a better sense of that particular book.
I think we have it. The book has reminds us that no one is perfect. Only God
Yeah.
is perfect, and we all make mistakes, and we 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 have to forgive ourselves and forgive
Mm-hmm.
the person so that we have a chance to create a better future.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And show us the cover.
oh, uh,
Yes, there we go. Excellent, excellent.
okay. Um, yeah, so I want to read chapter 18, page 92. Okay. Naomi knew that she had to figure out a way to cope with the emotional impact of the layoff. She got laid off.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But how? She felt terrified and helpless. She didn't think that she would be looking for another job now. I have no choice but to figure out how to move on. Why me? Why? Naomi's head was spinning, and she started to mentally itemize and discard the list of the losses and changes that would be required. she began to feel anxious about her future. It would have been the perfect time for her to pray for wisdom, to believe that God would guide her. But she took it as another sign that he should know what she needed without prayers. He was the all knowing God who was silent. Well, he can wait.
Ah, excellent. Yeah, so just a glimpse into when God is silent. So a powerful book. And you know, you're so right about forgiveness, because many times we think we forgive the other person for them, but we really forgive other people for us,
Yes, yes, correct.
so we
You're
can
right.
begin the healing
Mhm.
process. So
Yes,
I think this is a wonderful addition to our summer reading collection, and I encourage everyone to grab a copy. And we're going to talk about in a little bit where you can get a copy. But you know, I'm so happy we're having this conversation right now, Angela, because
okay.
when we look around in the world right now and we see such darkness, we see what happened in Haiti today
Mhm. Oh, yes.
with the
Mhm.
assassination of the president and his wife. We see that we just lost Patrick John in Dominica, the first prime minister, yesterday,
Mhm.
July 6th,
Mhm.
2021. We lost our first prime minister.
Yes.
So, you know, at this point, we need a message of hope. We need a message of inspiration. And it is so timely. You know, I don't believe in consequence, in how do you call it? In coincidence. I
Coincidence.
believe things happen for a reason, and I think we're
Yeah.
having this conversation because we needed a light in the world right now. And I'm so
Mhm.
happy that you're being that light for us right now. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So let's talk about the response to that book, how you've been doing since this was your very first novel that you published. What was the public's response to that book?
Actually, they loved it. It came out a couple months before the pandemic, and
Mhm.
I launched it at my church, and I had a really good response. And one lady said she read it 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And but most people, they pick it up and they read it through. They don't want to put it down.
So
And
it's
I
a
think
page
that's
turner.
yeah, that's for both of my books, the same thing. They don't, it's just right through. Let's just read it and finish. Find out what
Yes.
happened. Yes.
So that's a real compliment when you're an author that you have a page turner.
Yes, it is.
Yes, absolutely. So your second book, when did you publish Cece's Journey? And I want us to take a look at Cece's journey as well.
Okay.
So tell us about when you published it.
Last month.
Oh, you've been busy.
Yes.
And what was the inspiration for Cece's Journey?
It was coping with loneliness and isolation during the pandemic.
Hmm.
I think we all find ourselves in situations beyond our control, like the pandemic. Nobody
Hmm.
could control it. And what do? We have to rely on family and friends and our faith to help us deal and cope with such situations.
Yeah, so let me just read the description of this one. So, Cece's journey, June 2021. Lily Mason's gut wrenching decision changes everything, including the life of her beloved baby girl, Cece. Raised on a Caribbean island by her grandmother, Bridget Beatty Mason, Cece learns quickly about unconditional love, the importance of faith, and the significance of family. When Beatty gets too sick to take care of her, Cece must endure the cold, inhospitable home of a distant father and callous stepmother in Canada. As the granddaughter of the former indigenous chief of the island, Cece does not fit in at school or university. Although a gifted student, she constantly has to deal with rejection, racism, and bullying. Are faith, hope, and love enough for this Kalinago girl to survive? So, of course, I have lots of questions on that book in particular because I
Okay.
cannot help but see you in this young lady, because you talked about when you moved to Canada and you were quiet because you had an accent.
Yeah.
And I think we all experience that, because I experienced it too, not wanting to speak up because you sound different and
Hmm.
you just don't want to be bothered with the where you came from
Yes.
and what
Yes.
brought you here and why did you leave paradise. It gets tiring after a
Hmm.
while.
Yeah, it
So
does.
is she a reflection of you?
Well, someone asked me if it's a real story. No, it's not.
Ah,
She's gifted, and I would love to be gifted, but she's
right.
gifted. No, it's
Mhm.
just happened that way. But all writers, you see a part of us in our story. So yes,
Mhm.
I guess so.
Yes, yes, yes. As someone of Kalinago descent myself, I'm super proud that you
Yes.
selected a Kalinago character. So, was there a particular reason why she had to be Kalinago?
No, no, no reason. I wanted to write my second book in Dominica, but that didn't happen. So when I couldn't go to Dominica, I decided to write a book based in Dominica and in Canada. And what better than to use the island's first people?
Absolutely. Well, I truly thank you.
You're welcome.
And this one was published last month. How what has been the response so far?
Okay, I got um really the same as the first one. They really enjoy it, and they can't put it down. But the one of the coordinator in my Bible study group, she wrote me a really nice long note, and she says she really enjoyed it, and she kept forgetting it's not real, and because it's so real, and she has to tell herself this is fiction.
Right,
And
right.
she said, and she liked Cece's character because I didn't make her into a superhero. She had all the flaws, and so she enjoyed it, and she really recommends it.
Yes, yes. So if this summer you're looking for an escape, a mental break from the chaos and confusion of the world, we just
Mhm.
offered you two wonderful novels that you can delve into and escape from all the madness that is out there and escape to a different world, escape to a different place of tranquility and beauty, because that's what Dominica is in my mind.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go and take a couple of the Facebook Live comments and just see what everyone has to say who's
Sure.
joining us this evening. And of
Okay.
course, we thank you for being here as we celebrate a Dominican author, Miss Angela Charles. So if you tuned in late, we are speaking to Miss Angela Charles out of Canada, Dominican author, and she has produced three wonderful works of art. And we are going to talk next about where you can find her work and where you can connect with her if you would like to reach her. So we have Rosalind, as we mentioned, listening from New York. Beverly Johnson. Hey, Dr. Simone, how are you? Nice program. Thank you, Beverly, as always. And she's watching from California. We have Francine Harris. I am listening from Toronto and enjoying the interview. Thank you. I have read both the author's novels. They are full of emotion and quite relatable. So she's giving you thumbs up reviews. Thank you, Francine. Thank you. Gwyneth Charles, hello from Dominica, my sister. Is she your sister?
Yes, she is.
Yes, yes. I figured out with the last name Charles, she must be your sister. Beverly Johnson, Francine Harris, I am glad you are listening. Good interview. Thank you. Maureen Massicott, amazing poem. Angela, you know Maureen?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. She's on the board of the CHS alumni. Yes.
Ah, yes, yes. And CHS alumni, I need to get more actively involved with them as well because I'm also a former convent girl, like we like to say.
Okay, Francine, did you hear that?
Yes, I'm interested. No, I'm really interested. So if
And
anyone wants to reach out to me,
Francine is the president.
oh yes, so Francine, please reach out to me and let me know how I can get involved. I would love to do so. Beverly again, hi Angela, congrats on your books.
Beverly.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, guys, for all the wonderful comments. Francine enjoyed the poem Angela read. I also love her poem at the end of her book, When God is Silent, Faith Life is a Journey. Can you grab that poem, please, while we're talking? Because she says it's a wonderful one. So let's go
Okay.
ahead and share that poem with our audience this
Sure.
evening. Faith, the GPS. So true. Rosalind, congratulations. Quite interesting interview. So, Rosalind, I'm hoping we can do maybe a panel discussion one of these days to continue to promote our authors as well as to share with anyone who's interested in becoming an author so we can exchange ideas, we can share with our community. So please let me know, Roslyn, you know all the ways to reach me. Roslyn is one of my top fans, so she knows how to get in touch with me if you would be interested in that. And speaking of top fans, Tina is also here. Hi, Angela. Such inspirational readings. Beverly, Tina Bell, the Ramon. Hi, Tina. How are you? I miss seeing you on the program today. Oh, yes, because normally we would have our Creole program. So we'll do that again sometimes. Alec Challenger. Oh, the comments are coming in. Angela, lots of support.
Thank you.
You're gifted, Miss Angela. It's a great stepping stone. I'm listening from St. Croix. See, when I told you we do an international program, she's listening from St. Croix. And Rosalind says, yes, that would be great. And Alec, congrats, Angie. So I wanted to let you know of all the wonderful support that is coming your way this evening, Angela. And thank you for sharing with us. Were you able to find that poem?
Yes, yes.
Yes, please go ahead and read it so we can enjoy it.
It's Francine's favorite poem called Faith. Life is a journey, the destination inevitable. Some stumble and fall, some chart a perilous course, others walk by faith. Faith tested by storms, by valleys, by grief and suffering, failings and weaknesses. Faith weakens. It can shatter and die. Life gets complicated, the way completely blocked, unable to continue or reroute. Faith offers a second chance to move forward, strengthened and assured. Faith navigates the journey of hope, of assurance. Mistakes, missteps, like a vehicle's GPS, always rerouting with new beginnings. No longer lost, the journey continues. God, the satellite, faith, the GPS.
Oh, that is beautiful. I like the part about the GPS.
It's always rerouting.
Yes, that is what so many of us need right now, just some guidance because we can get so lost in the madness of the world that is around us right now. So what I'm actually doing, I'm going to post the links to we can receive, where we can check out your books for purchase.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to post that as a comment in the Facebook Live. So it will be very easy for anyone who's interested to simply click on the link. And while we're doing so, let us take a look. So keep in mind, it is amazon.ca, not amazon.com. And I will pull it up right now so you can take a look of what is available. So all you do is you go to amazon.ca and you type in, like I did, Angela C. Charles. And as you can see, two of the books came up, When God is Silent and Cece's Journey. And I see we have a review. So let me see if we can pull up that review as well. Oh, I don't think I can see it. No, I didn't have any luck seeing it. Okay, so this is just the description that you posted as well in that area. So Angela, thank you for being here. Let me grab that link to your books and you can go ahead and tell us about where we can find your books, because you said you had a location in Dominica. Yes. For those of us who are in Dominica, so we can get your book. So let me give everyone ample notice. Please grab a pen and paper. Okay. So you can write down this information. And Angela, if you could repeat it twice.
Okay.
And slowly. Because, you know, it would be nice if we have so many authors. It would be so, you know what we need to do? Because I keep talking about how our community is growing and we have such resourceful people. We need to start a bookstore in Dominica. That's what I think we need to do. So I think so too. So let's keep that in the back of our mind, how we can set up an establishment, if it's just one person that we can recruit in Dominica. So I think that should be part of our CHS Alumni Association projects. Look, I'm not even in the group yet and I'm giving ideas. don't think they're gonna accept me, Angela. They're gonna be like, she's gonna want to come in here and run the show. They'll be like, she's not even in the group yet, but here she comes. Oh, let's
Yeah.
do this. So I hope everyone has had a chance to grab a pen and paper. And Angela, please go ahead while I post the link.
Okay, so
to
if
your
you're in
book.
Dominica, and you would like a hard copy of When God is Silent and Sisi's Journey, which will be available in August, you could contact Raylene. I'll spell that Raelene, Raylene Bruni at Raylene Bruni. No, no, okay.
Take your time.
Raylene Bruni at hotmail.com. Right, that's it. And her phone number is 767-225-8333. Let me repeat that. Raylene Bruni, Raelene, Bruni, Bruney. Her phone number is 767-225-8335. 8333. Yes. Okay. And if you can't get her, you could also contact Matilda Charles. Her phone number is 767-235-4655. That is Matilda Charles, 767-235-4655.
Yes, excellent. So thank you for sharing that. And what I did, I went ahead and posted the link to your books in the description.
Okay, good.
So everyone can see. So I want to thank you for being here with us. I want to thank you for sharing a positive light, for being a positive light, for sharing a message of hope, for giving us an escape that we can take advantage of, and for being a part of our summer celebration. So as we get ready to wind on the program, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Well, I would say it's never too late to learn something new, to be an
Yes.
author, to start a new business, or to make a change in your life. Look at me. So just start, believe that you in yourself, and go for it. Have no limits.
Absolutely. I love it. So let's see. I want to make sure, I'm a big fan of sharing the comments and the support
Okay.
that comes in on the Facebook Live. So let's just see. Glenda Shillingford, good evening, Simone and guest. Hey, Glenda. Beverly, Tina. Hello, Beverly. I'm here. Paula Bella, lovely.
Hey, Paula. She's okay, Paula.
Oh, so it's nice to see people on the Facebook Live, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
yes. Let's see. Glenda loved it. Maureen, wow, beautiful poem. I agree as well. Alec, wow, brilliant. Faith, the GPS.
Oh, Alec. Okay.
Francine Harris, yes, I did. I will contact you, Simone. An excellent interview.
go.
Thank you, Francine. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Let's see. Maureen, Francine will definitely contact you. Oh boy, I'm scared now. Francine said, great idea, bookstore project. We must talk, Simone. So, they're not ready to kick me out before I even enter the group. Yes, yes, yes. So, Alec, never say never. It gives me hope. So I think you're such an inspiration, Angela. And I think you said it just so very well, that it is never too late to get started on your personal project.